video is gonna get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because that's what my whole existence on the internet is. It's just me being taken out of context and stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it? So much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all. So
Hollywood loves a comeback almost as much as it loves creating the mess that makes one necessary. So picture the scene. Rachel Zegler, freshly bruised from the Snow White press tour implosion, strides onto the grand stage of the London Palladium, believing she can sing her way back into the public's good graces. The theater is majestic, its velvet seats gleaming under Art Deco chandeliers. Yet, more than 7 out of every 10 of those seats remain defiantly empty.
Zegler has been labeled a PR nightmare, and we can see why. The Walt Disney Company seems to be trying to keep her totally hidden, as we haven't seen any interviews regarding Snow White since the controversies surfaced. Of course, people now are just waiting for her next slip-up. What other outrageous thing will she say? But I have a suspicion that Zegler is getting some serious brainwashing media training, so she can keep saying the same thing.
That is not just a rough night. That is the theatrical equivalent of arriving at your own surprise party and discovering even the cake RSVP'd. Maybe the show, a revival of Evita, should be automatic box office gold. Andrew Lloyd Webber melodies, Tim Rice lyrics all wrapped in. The myth of Eva Peron, but the ticketing site resembles a ghost town with polite lighting. You can nab a decent seat for roughly £29. $50 a price normally reserved for off, peak matinees of lesser shows, and still have an entire row to set your coat, your snack, and your existential dread.
When she's starring in it and she's the main character. Go ahead, Rob, play the clip.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
She's a good actress.
that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Wow.
The ego on this girl is ridiculous.
Rachel's challenge is bigger than filling chairs. Her challenge is filling the credibility gap she opened herself. Ever since she offered Snow White a thoroughly modern feminist makeover, complete with the memorable line that waiting for a prince felt weird, audiences have branded her the poster child for updates no one asked for. Disney poured hundreds of millions into that live-action gamble and saw little more than goodwill evaporate. The blowback clung to Rachel like stubborn glitter, following her to press junkets, red carpets, even the recent Met Gala where social media comments praised her dress, but side-eyed her resume.
What is it like for you now, having all of this? I think it's a lot of pressure, right?
It's definitely a lot of pressure, but I surround very good people who keep me grounded and try to just stay as true to myself as I possibly can.
Meanwhile, co-star Gal Gadot, who kept her head down, somehow absorbed online heat for nothing in particular, proving that on the internet, logic is optional, but drama is non-negotiable. Back at the Palladium, the numbers tell a harsher story than any review. A venue boasting roughly 2,286 seats should buzz with anticipation. Instead, ushers could probably conduct headcounts without leaving their aisle. Yet, producers insist that £4 million worth of tickets were snapped up before Rachel's casting was even announced. If that claim is genuine, it means thousands of early birds are spontaneously deciding to stay home with a nice cup of tea each night, which seems about as plausible as a Broadway chorus line performed by actual doves.
And then, because, I mean, you seem to be dominating the world of musicals, you're doing Evita in London, right?
Big Andrew Lloyd Webber fan right over there.
Is that your dad whistling?
Yeah. You guys see Stanley Tucci back there?
That'll be fun, huh?
It's going to be the best time. It's my West End debut. I'm so excited.
You've done a lot of Broadway.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did Shakespeare for 20 weeks. I'm coming off of that right now.
20 weeks of Shakespeare.
It's a lot.
Do they say, like, the audiences in England are different than the American audience?
I've heard they're more reserved, and I certainly didn't have a very reserved experience on Broadway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were in an 800-seat theater in the round, so you really are this close to your audience at times, and I'm with the biggest heartthrob.
In the fans on Reddit smell a publicity stunt suggesting the figure was inflated to spark artificial urgency. The result is the opposite. Screenshots of the seating chart circulate like urban folklore, reinforcing the perception that the emperor's new star has very few clothes and even fewer paying patrons. Quick question while we are neck-deep in velvet emptiness. Do you think studios can still manufacture a star in the era of social media fact-checking every press release in real time? Drop your thoughts below because your comments are where the real plot twists happen, and I promise to scroll through them faster. Then a publicist scrambles for talking points. Hollywood's obsession with prepackaged talent is nothing new. Remember Sam Worthington and G. Courtney? Enormous budgets, marquee titles, and yet audiences collectively shrugged. Charisma cannot be focus grouped and loyalty cannot be demanded. It must be earned one performance at a time. Rachel's predicament feels like déjà vu with a Gen Z filter. Studio executives eager to prove their cultural relevance gambled on a single breakout role, ignoring the possibility that the public might want to decide for itself.
It is the real beginning of my life as a young lady of America. Of America.
Now those same executives are quietly changing the subject, scheduling fewer interviews, and praying the algorithm forgets. It is Hollywood's gentlest form of ghosting. No dramatic statement, just vanished enthusiasm and a sudden shift to new strategic priorities. What makes live theater especially unforgiving is its inability to fake momentum. In film, you can massage box office numbers, pad them with global returns, or declare victory based on social media impressions. In theater, the lights go down, the curtain rises, and the empty seats glare back with silent judgment.
Things do not look good for Rachel Zegler and her acting career as we know it today. What do you think's gonna happen, girl? You are sending tweets, making posts, saying these things at events. You had a character to play. I'm sorry, but dividing people and making comments about half of our nation is not going to get people in the movie theaters to support you.
Step on stage each evening, belt, "Don't cry for me," Argentina, and hope the echo returns from flesh and blood rather than fiberboard. That is a humbling feedback loop no trending hashtag can mend. Every unoccupied seat becomes a cautionary tale, reminding industry insiders that audience connection cannot be bullied into existence. To be fair, talent is not Rachel's issue. One TikTok clip from her earlier turn in Romeo and Juliet captured vocals so pristine even. Confirmed skeptics conceded she can sing circles around many veterans. A fan who met her at the stage door described her as sweet, humble, and borderline astonishing in person. But charisma off-camera does not always translate when the record light blinks red. On talk show sofas, she has a habit of sounding more professor than performer, dissecting fairy tale tropes with the enthusiasm of someone lecturing a room that just wanted popcorn.
And if you've ever seen Evita, it is a challenging part to play, and I don't think she has the temerity, the stamina, you pick a word here, in order to pull it off going, every single day that the theater is open.
I'm a very talented, capable individual. I'm here for a reason. I can do it.
That disconnect fuels the narrative that she is, well, a bit out of touch. An image made worse every time a casual soundbite morphs into a headline about legacy stories being problematic. Even Galato's diplomatically worded comments about teamwork on the Snow White set landed like a very polite thunderclap. She never named names, yet gossip blogs filled in the blanks faster than you can say fairy dust. Behind the scenes, rumors swirl of lukewarm rehearsals, creative clashes, and general exhaustion among cast and crew.
This industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
No screaming, no throne, phones, just that uniquely Hollywood flavor of tension where everyone smiles until the cameras stop rolling and then reaches for the stress gummies. Whether any of it is true almost doesn't matter. Perception has already pitched its tent. Meanwhile, the publicity machine refuses to surrender. Magazine profiles still label Rachel a rising icon and cite her Golden Globe as proof. The Hunger Games prequel did decent numbers, but let us be honest, that franchise could release a 2-hour loop of Katniss polishing arrows and still sell popcorn. The point is not whether Rachel is talented. The point is whether the public feels invited to root for her right now. The invitation seems lost in the post in this industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing. And if you disagree with the sentiment, I don't need your business. Here is where it gets awkward. Studios that champion her casting in Snow White now have reputations tied to the outcome. Admitting miscalculation would mean admitting they misread an entire demographic's appetite for modernized nostalgia. Instead of saying, "We might have rushed this," they double down by booking Rachel onto bigger stages. As if volume alone can drown out skepticism. That strategy works until the day comes when theater aisles resemble bowling lanes at midnight. And no amount of promotional confetti can hide the echo. Live performance has always been the ultimate lie detector. You cannot CGI applause or patch. In laughter during post-production, if enthusiasm is absent, silence fills the space with a density you could slice. Night after night, that silence orders an espresso and settles in, and every performer on that stage feels its caffeine buzz. In those moments, lessons arrive faster than any acting coach can deliver. Humility is key. Audiences sense authenticity, and sometimes the smartest move is to apologize for past missteps rather than pretend they never happened. Rachel's saga is not a cancellation story. It is a connectivity story. She may well rebound. Many do. But the path forward requires the one thing no agent can negotiate: genuine rapport with the people buying tickets. That means answering tough questions without sounding defensive, honoring classic material without labeling it outdated, and remembering that nostalgia is not the enemy. Dismissiveness is. A generation that grew up loving Disney's first princess might be open to evolution. Yet, it bristles